Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 18th. We're going to jump right in here, Cancer, and we are going to see what is going on for you. I don't know why I did that, but we'll take both cards. I felt like pulling two, so there you go. But we're going to see what's going on for you this week. By the way, this is the Tarot of the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle deck. I'm using Mega Deck. Some of you might remember Mega Deck from back in the day, but it's a combination of the Tarot of the Wild Unknown and the Tarot of the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle. But let's see here, Cancer. There will be a part 2 that is linked up in the description down below as well. But let's see here. You have this gentle moderation card. It says, take your time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what you are trying to accomplish. I would be very careful of pressure from other people. It seems to be one of those weeks where there could be, again, a couple of signs have had messages like this, very similar. So I would be careful of the pressures that other people are applying to you in your life. And I would make sure that you're making your own decisions at this time. Even just looking around here at all the cards, really good, actually really nice reading. But what I would say here is I feel like all decisions need to come from you, plain and simple. So I would make sure to do that. I kind of feel in this first row that, especially in work or in business or whatever it is that you do, you have the Emperor here. This could be one of those weeks where it would be a good week to say no or to practice saying no, because, you could get roped into doing something that you just don't want to do. Look at this. You have the Queen of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Emperor, but going this way, you have the Emperor, the Four of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. It's like, to me, for whatever reason, I don't think this is that big of a deal, but I just feel this energy of like accepting a responsibility that you just don't want to do, right? And it's like sometimes those things can like suck the soul right out of our body, is what I would say here. I always tell a story. I used to work at this cafe, and and it was my own fault, right? I know that now, but 16, 17-year-old stupid Chris didn't know this, right? I used to work at this cafe, and my boss would always ask me to work extra hours, and I would always say yes, even though most of the time I really didn't want to do it. And it kind of made me like jaded. It made me like, I wouldn't say angry, but I started to get real snarky because it's like I was always working these extra hours that I didn't want to do, but it was my own fault, right? I could have just said no. I get that, I get that feeling for you here in this bottom row. And you might be saying, well, it's like, yeah, the extra money was great and all this other stuff, but it's like I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? So I feel that for you here, Cancer, where it's like, I'm not saying it's work, but it does feel like business to me, where there might be something you don't want to do with this Emperor energy, and I feel like it's saying, don't do it. I also feel like slowing things down with this Queen of Swords right here. She's actually very clear on what she wants. The clouds are only halfway up her body, so she's clear for the first time on like what she wants with her life or what she wants to do with her life. But for whatever reason, I feel like she's slowing things down for you in this reading. I feel like it's saying, like, before you say yes to something, before you say yes to anything that anyone asks you this week, I would slow it down and say, do I really want to do this or not, And that's it, You have the Four of Cups, and again, I feel this could be like someone selling you a pipe dream. Those are literally the words that are popping into my head. It kind of makes sense because, the Four of Cups, he's trying to manifest those cups in front of you. But again, I read intuitively, and this is not what the Four of Cups necessarily means, but intuitively what I'm getting here is that, like, I feel like someone is presenting something to you as being much better than it actually is. So again, before you say yes to anything at all, period, this week, I would make sure that you're that you see things for how they truly are. Look at this too. It's funny because I always say with the Page of Cups that the fish that's in the cup might not be real. That fish in that cup might be in his imagination. So, and he's holding it out to the Four of Cups. In the cup is empty. How crazy is this, Cancer? The cup is empty, right? I'm just throwing it out there. Intuitively, I feel like this is saying, make sure you see the real thing. And I think it's no mistake that I pulled that dragonfly spirit, by the way, because here's the thing, is that the dragonfly is, when you look, I always say this, part of, in Ted Andrews' Animal Speak book, he says that when you look through a dragonfly's wings, it's kind of like, shimmery. It kind of looks like looking through a stained glass window. It's like kind of wearing rose-colored glasses, not seeing things for how they truly are, right? So I feel like you need to be very careful this week of how things are being presented to you. This gazelle spirit represents like things moving very quickly. So other than that warning, it actually looks like a very nice week. So I feel like things could be progressing for you very, very quickly this week. You have the Sun, the Page of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles here. The Sun is about happiness and your own inner happiness, which, like I said, I feel like protecting your own inner happiness is like very important for you for whatever reason. This week, it just seems to be one of those weeks where making sure that you're happy, making sure that you're fulfilled is probably the best option. The other thing that's standing out to me is that this banner that this little child is holding, the banner itself is meant to look very heavy. It's meant to look like something that would normally be a burden, but the baby or the child is carrying it very easily, right? So, I kind of get that feeling where it's like there could be things that you're doing this week that are kind of that might normally be like a lot of work, but are actually going to be easy for you. But I also feel like there's a need to make sure you're doing things that are easy for you to do this week. It just has that feeling to me of being kind of like a week where maybe you don't push yourself to the limits. I'm not saying you shouldn't push yourself to limits, but, I just wouldn't be forcing yourself to do things. You have the Page of Cups, so definitely could be a love offer. We go from the Emperor to the Page of Cups in this second diagonal up to the Lovers. So there could be a love offer coming in for you. Page of Cups is like an admirer, so I do feel very specifically that there is a person who has their eye on you if you're looking for love. I mean, even if you're not, that doesn't stop people from being interested, right? So I feel like there could be a person who is interested in you. Again, I feel like this will be a good person. Obviously, they're showing up as a good person here, so I feel like it'll be good for you if you want to accept it in your life. And you have the Four of Pentacles. I'm getting the word mindset on this card. Again, one of my favorite people of all time, Greg Braden, says when your head and your heart become one, you can move mountains. And his head and his heart are in perfect alignment. And so for a lot of you, I feel like kind of getting your head and your heart in alignment would be a good idea. Again, when we say yes to things we don't want to do, we are not in alignment, right? So I kind of feel this week is talking about being in alignment and how critically important it is for you to be in alignment with your inner happiness. The Sun is your inner child. It is your the things that make you happy or make your inner child happy. And I think when things just go smoother when we are in alignment with the Four of Pentacles. I always use the example. I do these two-part readings. There are a bunch of conspiracy theories going around about why I do the two-part readings. But in honesty, it's just easier for me to do these two-part readings. Why? I have no freaking clue. It takes me longer to do this, like a little bit longer, not too much longer. But I enjoy it more. It makes me feel happier. It makes me more productive and all this other stuff. So that's like the real reason that I do it. And I know that sounds crazy, believe it or not. But again, it just gets me in a better flow. The more readings I do in a day, by the way, the better of a flow that I get into. And I think that part of me believes maybe that's why it's easier for me to do these two-part readings. But that's really the reason I do it. It started out as an experiment as well, by the way. But, I kind of feel that for you here, where it's like if you're forcing yourself to do things, like when I was doing the just 4 readings, what I used to do is just 4 readings a day. And I kind of stayed on this cycle of doing 4 readings a day. But I just had to break up the routine. And I'm just one of those people. Will I change again in the future? You bet your ass, right? Cancer, because I'm just one of those people. Sometimes I just have to break out of my routine just to keep things fresh. And, I kind of get that for you here. That's why I'm saying this. That Four of Pentacles being in alignment is going to be very important. I feel like it's going to make you more productive, could attract love into your life. There are a lot of side effects to being in alignment, right? You have this shark card. It says, take care or there will be material loss. Again, I would be very careful of someone making a presentation. That's how it's popping into my head, of someone making a presentation to you. It's like someone might be telling you about their nephew's next $1 million NFT. That's a big fat no for me, right? I'm a big fan of NFTs, right? But if someone's like, my nephew created this NFT of cow turds or something like that, I'd be like, no, not doing it, right? Plain and simple. No matter how good they make it sound. Plain and simple, right here, boom, right here. So I'd be careful of that. You have the Scales card. It says, keep your life in balance. Now that kind of goes along with being in alignment. So I feel like being in alignment clearly is going to be very important for you. You have the Lovers, the Six of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles over here. I do feel like there could be love coming in for you clearly, and I feel like it would be true love. Six of Cups, again, there's a lot of childlike energy here. The Sun card, the Page of Cups, and the Six of Cups, they all kind of represent that kind of, like childlike love, being really in love with a person, where it has like a nice flow, it's kind of playful, that type of energy. And I do feel like that could be coming in for you, where there could be like a more playful type of energy as far as a person is concerned coming in for you. You're both going to be playful here because of the Six of Cups. It's like both people want to enjoy the relationship, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But on top of that, this is a card of being in alignment, by the way, because this is your higher self angel up here. And they need to see through the clouds right here in between them to kind of connect with their higher self. That's part of the Lovers. And so, I feel like for some of you, getting into alignment will help you connect on a deeper level. The other thing is that the Lovers is part of your values. It's like when we do the things that we truly value in life, and we make sure that we have certain standards in our life, and that the experiences that we have meet those standards. When we live that way and we don't sacrifice ourselves and do things that we don't want to do in life, then we are in alignment. So again, for whatever reason, that is a critically important message for you this week. Next, again, you have the Six of Cups. These two people, these two children, are in a courtyard, and they are being guarded by this guard over here. If I can get my finger over there, and that guard is protecting them. And for whatever reason, I feel like for some of you, it's like you're almost creating like a safe space with you and another person. So I feel like there could be a very solid relationship coming in for you with the Six of Cups, something that makes you very happy if you want love. With that card, I feel like this is what you're fearing, the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. And you have that Scales card at the top of the reading. Again, sometimes I think we get into a good relationship and we get scared that they're going to leave or whatever. The Scales card, again, is the answer of the next 100 years, right? I've been talking about this a lot because usually Libra cards come up in readings a lot, like the Justice card, right? And I'm always saying that the answer to future relationships and anything from today on, right, is you put in a little work, if the other person also matches your energy, then you put in a little bit more. If they put in a little bit more, you put in a little bit more. It is the name of the game. It's really that deadly simple that we just need to be matching energy with the other person. If at any moment they don't match the energy, number one, you don't have to run away. You can communicate with the person, right? Open your mouth, as I always say. Number two, if they continue to not match your energy and they're off doing whatever they're doing, then you leave, plain and simple. So as long as we're kind of matching energy, then we're not giving too much, then we really don't get hurt. I mean, will we be hurt if they leave us or whatever, or cheat or something like that? Of course. But if we're matching energy the right way, then it probably won't happen in the first place. So that's what I would do there. But this is amazing. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Part 2 is linked up in the description down below.